Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, and how y'all doing? It's Friday night. We are not live, but this is still the Club of the Man 1993. I was going to go live originally, but I chose not to. I had a Fire Vince rant I wanted to do, but I thought I was just going to be repeating myself, even though I had to do with a couple little pieces of news that happened this week. So just to save some time, I'll save that for my SmackDown review, which I may be able to do tonight. But I wanted to get this review caught up with tonight because I plan on posting some little shorts during the draft to kind of recap, who gets drafted when. So I'm going to do this pre-recorded just to get caught up because I didn't have time to set up for an actual live stream, and we're going to just roll from there. But this is my review. This is my review of AEW Dynamite, which was from the April 26, 2023 edition. And it took place, where did this Dynamite take place at? I can't remember. I thought it was somewhere in Florida. AEW Dynamite 4/26, 2023 location. Let me check that. From the Florida lot. Oh, in Sunrise, Florida. Guess it's the name of the place. I didn't know that. But the show took place in Sunrise, Florida. It was good. I mean, it didn't excite me as much as recent episodes of Dynamite. But there's still, again, a lot of fresh content that's popping at me going what's this? What's this? Double or Nothing seems like it's going to be a pretty fresh card. Fresh card, not card, in my opinion. You can tell I'm rushing that I have a lot I want to do. And life is busy, guys. But there was some good stuff on the show, though. Nothing that was bad. Well, one thing that I'm going to kind of really, guys, come on about. But we'll get into it. We're going to roll right through it. And then we'll get ready for the draft tonight for WWE. The show opened up with a very good international championship match. Orange Cassidy versus Bandito. And it's been a while since we've seen Bandito, I feel like. So it's good to see him again. Him and Orange had a very, very good match. Some great counters, great back and forths. Orange Cassidy did retain, and afterwards, out of a sign of respect, he gave Bandito a pair of sunglasses. And embraced him afterwards. Of course, it's not the only time we would see them on this show. Because we then see Adam Cole, baby, backstage, being interviewed by Renee Paquette, which I just actually listened to his interview this morning driving to work with Renee Paquette on, as John Moxley said when he was a guest host one time, oral session. The way he said it was just priceless. But anyways, great interview. Recommend checking it out for sure. Some good secrets about Cole I didn't know about. I learned that. But anyways, Adam Cole's being interviewed backstage. And the last time we saw Adam Cole, he was handcuffed to the ring ropes as Chris Jericho helped the Outcasts in a beatdown on his girlfriend, Britt Baker. So Cole says he's going to go to the ring, call out Chris Jericho, and show him exactly the mistake he made. And if he doesn't come down, he'll go find him. Nice fire shown in Adam Cole, Bay. Orange Cassidy and Bandito, though, roll up. And Cassidy asks for an interview. She explains she's busy getting to the bottom of Adam Cole's story, and Bandito walk off, and he's like, oh, okay, and just walks off like, cool, whatever, basically. Priceless. We have a Darby Allin and Jungle Boy interview. Darby says if Jack believes in this pillar stuff, he'll have his back in the match tonight he has against Sammy Guevara. Jungle Boy says they had some harsh things last week to say, and it would have been nice if it was the two of them this week, and Darby agrees because he thinks he'd win. Darby says he'll see him out there later tonight. So still putting that tension there, teasing the hell out of that fatal four-way still. Which there's still a chance it could happen. There's that chance. You'll find out why later on. Definitely the lowest point of the night, though, was this match with Dax Harwood and Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett gets the victory after Sonjay Dutt does like some running interference. And then they get in there, and then Jarrett takes Dax's tag title belt, and he's kissing it like he just won it. I just don't get it. Again, this is my only rant of this episode. I just don't get it. Why is Tony Khan so obsessed with Jeff Jarrett? Why? Like, what does he bring to the table? And again, I get it. He's a Hall of Famer. Harry's a little overrated. I just don't see anything in him. I just don't see, why? Okay, if he was in a role like Sting is, fine. But he's literally, in your face, deeply involved in every single tag title feud that's been going on since he walked in. And again, I just don't get it. What, are we going to get FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal at Double or Nothing? That's a match I don't give a shit about. I just don't get, I don't get why they're so obsessed with Jeff Jarrett. But he gets the victory, and again, it's probably leading to a tag match, but FTR will probably win. Don't put the titles on them, please. Please, whatever you do, do not put the titles on Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Jay Lethal, okay, with a different tag partner, but not Jeff Jarrett. Some announcement, though, Tony Khan, 2 announcements in a row that actually were pretty good. He has a little announcement. Just a little announcement this week. Not a major, just a little announcement. The Owen Hart Cup will be back. It'll begin at Double or Nothing, with matches to be held in Canada, including also at Forbidden Door. And the finals will take place on July 15th, my sister's birthday, and I'll be married by then. It'll take place July 15th in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I'm pretty sure that's where Owen's from. So that'll be interesting to see. Last year, it was won by Adam Cole, baby, and his own girl, Britt Baker. And to see who wins it this year. So yeah, that's happening. Again, I'm excited to see that. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to. And we'll go from there. Wardlow, as the TNT champion, squashed an enhancement talent. But of course, now they're having him with Arn Anderson. Okay? Afterwards, Arn Anderson explains why he aligned with Wardlow. He mentions how he's been in this business for 40 years and he's figured out who's who in the dressing room. It's ironic that tomorrow's the NFL draft. And you get that number 1 pick and turn a team that's pretty good into a dynasty. Well, he believes Wardlow is AEW's dynasty. Has a future unlike anyone in the back. And he can put AEW on his shoulders and carry the company into the next millennium, which is very true. And there's some stuff he's going to have to agree with. Sometimes you're going to have to pull an eye out, wrench a thumb off, crack a man over the head with a chair, obviously making some Cody references there. But then out comes Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, and they basically just stalk around the ringside and just leave. So they're teasing a match with Wardlow and Luchasaurus, which sounds good to me. I'm intrigued by that. That's fresh. And then we have Sammy Guevara being interviewed backstage. And his new best buddy comes up and tells him, his new best buddy MJF rolls up and says, "Sammy, it's your big night, buddy." Okay, not as funny as, "Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy." It's more so, "Sammy, it's your big night, buddy." It doesn't sound like Barney. And he gives him a kiss on his forehead. And then Sammy kisses him back on his forehead. I'm like, okay, it's getting a little too weird here, people. He tells him, "No, tonight's our big night." They didn't complain about everybody complaining about them, and they don't care because Sammy's getting a fat check and MJF keeps the reign of terror rolling. Basically, the story still is that MJF paid Sammy that price he is for him basically to just lay down for him at Double or Nothing if he helps him get to the main event, just so Sammy can say he was in the main event, basically. And then they give each other presents. First, Sammy gave MJF a matching vest just like his, and then MJF gets him a matching scarf. They hug cheek to cheek, and yeah, awkward as hell. We also had a backstage with Jon Moxley, and the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club. Well, no Bryan Danielson. They say that tonight is a big night for the Blackpool Combat Club, and they have some scars to leave, which they fought in the main event we then had the match with Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin, with MJF on commentary eating pickles. And the match was great. Sammy and Darby have always had good matches, especially their best match for sure. Maybe their only. I can't remember how many matches they've had, but they had a match at Revolution 2020 that I thought was pretty darn good. Again, definitely two main eventers, great counters. Of course, MJF got involved because Jungle Boy was outside the ring. MJF did get involved, and he once again helped Sammy win with a disqualification because I guess they handed... Sammy fell when the referee wasn't looking. And MJF gave Darby Allin his skateboard. Basically, an Eddie Guerrero special. Causes Sammy to win by disqualification. A good disqualification, of course. Because again, you don't see many disqualifications happen in AEW. But again, this was a good disqualification. Not the typical, face and heel, but don't either want to win, so we have to have a disqualification every week like Raw and SmackDown do when Vince has his ugly little hands on the paper. But great disqualification, and it then confirms that the main event of Double or Nothing for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship will be Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman and his best buddy, the sexy Spanish god who makes out with Ty Conchi all the time, Sammy Guevara. Yes, they are married, of course, but you know. Anyways, so as they're celebrating, Tony Schiavone gets on the mic saying he's got some news that he just talked to Tony Khan. And then, of course, Darby Allin and Jungle Boy are bickering in the ring. And then Sammy and MJF gloat on the stage. But MJF gets on the mic and says... tells them to beat the hell out of each... He tells Darby and Jungle Boy to beat the hell out of each other because it's just going to make the moment even better for him because they got everything they wanted. But then Tony Schiavone mentions that he just spoke with Tony Khan. And yes, Sammy earned his title shot. However, though, next week, they're going to have a tag match. And it's going to be MJF teaming with his best buddy, Sammy Guevara. They will fight Jungle Boy and Darby Allin. And if Jungle Boy and Darby win, they will get added to the match. Obviously, because neither matches in this Pillars tournament had clean finishes. And it's because of the alliance between MJF and Sammy Guevara. And then, of course, that pissed off MJF. And then they're heading to MJF's car bickering. And Sammy thought, yeah, we're going to go hang out chilling, and MJF's like, oh, no, sorry, no room, buddy. He gets in the car when there's obviously plenty of room and drives off. So it puts the cracks immediately in that friendship right there. And then, of course, oh, yes. My personal favorite part of this show. So Adam Cole comes out. He doesn't even bother doing his whole spew, like coming in, like, just soaking in the crowd, doing the whole boom, getting in the ring, just like soaking in the crowd and doing the Adam Cole, baby! Because Chris Jericho made it personal. He made it very personal when he set up the stage for his girlfriend, Britt Baker, to be attacked. So Cole comes out and curses at Jericho and calls him out. And he said it's one thing to run your mouth and to beat him up, but handcuffing him and making him watch his woman get beaten down, that's unforgivable, and he's going to hurt him bad. And then when Jericho still does not come out, Cole goes to leave to go find him. But as he's walking up the ramp, Judas plays. And Jericho appears on the Tron. Laugh off the idea and saying, he's like, I don't want to come down there. I don't want to be near a man who'd let the love of his life get beaten down in front of him. He says, Cole, you're the coward, and I won't come near you. But my guys will. Which then brings out the JAS, which I think it was just the 2.0 goons and Jake Hager and his stupid hat. So they came down to the ring, overwhelming Adam Cole. And then Orange Cassidy and Bandito make the save. But then, even though it was still 3-on-3, the numbers game's caught up, and they're beating down the three of them. Then some music start playing. And we're just like, who's this? Like, Bobby Fish is no longer here with the company. Kyle O'Reilly's something injured. What surprise is this? And then, of course, because you haven't heard, we'll get to him in a second, but the song being played is Killswitch Engage's End of Heartache, which, again, I've definitely always been a big fan of This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage, but they're playing End of Heartache, and whose finishing move was once called End of Heartache? No one else other than the Messiah of the Backbreaker, the fourth member of the Undisputed Era in NXT, Roderick Strong. That's right, Roddy Strong is all elite. Love it! Love it! I was pumped. I loved seeing Roddy come out there. He came out and he basically helped. He basically led everybody backbreakers. He was the Messiah, the backbreaker, and hit everybody with his End of Heartache. And then him and Cole stare at each other for a little bit. There wasn't really that much tension between them before Cole had left, because I think what happened was, if I'm not mistaken, whenever the Undisputed Era broke up and Cole started feuding with O'Reilly, there wasn't too much story, I don't think, with Roderick Strong. Because I think, didn't he have a match or two, and then he took a break for a few months, and then he came back and started up Diamond Mine? I think so, if I remember. So there wasn't too, because when Kyle O'Reilly came to AEW last December, they did kind of show that there was still a little bit of beef between them from their NXT feud. But I don't think there is too much, really, with Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. So they hugged it out, and yeah, Roderick Strong is all elite. I love it. I absolutely loved it. I missed Roddy. I've always been a fan of Roddy. Truth be told, though, again, I loved when he was with the Undisputed Era. But I definitely also really enjoyed when he was getting the main event singles push he got before he joined the Undisputed Era also. Because he had some great matches against Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre with the title on the line. I know he had a good match at TakeOver San Antonio with Andrade Andrade El Idolo. He was great with the Undisputed Era, don't get me wrong. But I feel like before he turned heel, you forgot just how good of a singles wrestler he could be as a babyface. And the fact he's that again, it makes me very excited. Because he also, right before he started, don't forget, he was in the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. And I think he got to the Final Four, and he had some really good matches. He is definitely underrated. And definitely, again, not saying he was overshadowed in the Undisputed Era, but again, he definitely, his style still changed a lot, I thought, when he was with the Undisputed Era. I miss seeing, babyface Roderick Strong put on some great clinics. I've always been a big fan of Roddy. And apparently, he kept this pretty quiet, because I had no clue when his contract was expiring. Because what I'm hearing is, because I don't watch NXT anymore, because the last time I saw Roderick Strong, he had come back right before I stopped watching, and he started up Diamond Mine. And was with, Hideki Suzuki, or Hockey Man, whatever he was called, Tyler Rex, and Malcolm Bivens, now Stokely Hathaway. Well, everybody in that stable got released. And apparently, it seemed like everybody who was supposed to be in his stable was getting released. Apparently, the idea Triple H had was that he was going to be the face of the Cruiserweight division. But of course, whenever that was until Vince got his hands on NXT, and then he basically ruined everything, killed the Cruiserweight division, so the Cruiserweight title was pointless. And for what I hear, because of how many times people he's been in the stable been released, he hadn't been on TV since last August, I think I heard. And apparently he did request his release, but he was not granted it. And I think they were trying to get him to, coach for the rest of his deal, which would have been stupid. Look, had Roderick Strong not joined the Undisputed Era, he was main roster ready when he had that Cruiserweight Champion Tournament run. He was ready for the main roster. But of course, he joined the Era. I mean, I still wonder to this day, if Bobby Fish was not hurt, would he have joined? I don't know. That's actually, if I was ever able to interview Roderick Strong, that's an honest question. Was the plan always for him to join? Because, the thing is, he does have history with Adam Cole. He's tagged with Adam Cole on Ring of Honor in the Indies or whatnot. So I feel like it could have been a plan. But like I said too, I feel like he would have been main roster ready had he not joined the Undisputed Era. But yeah, because again, his stable could get changes. Apparently, I also read too, before Hideki Suzuki or Hakiman, whatever he was called, and Tyler Rex and everybody else who was in the stable at the beginning when they started Diamond Mine. Originally, it was supposed to be him, Arturo Rojas, who had been on that Raw Underground a couple times, and his real life wife, Marina Shafir. That was the original stable for Diamond Mine. But again, it changed how many times because of everybody getting released, this and that. But I'm just glad to see Roddy. Like I said, I miss Roddy. And again, now that he's a babyface with Adam Cole, one, I'm hoping that, since Bobby Fish ain't around, I'm hoping that'll be the piece that's needed for them to do the Undisputed Elite versus the Elite at some point. That'd be a hell of a match. And again, having Roddy as a babyface, again, I so miss Robbie as not Robbie. Well, I miss my friend Robbie Kenobi, but I miss Roderick Strong as a babyface also. I cannot wait to see him put on some great matches in AEW. Heck, give me him and Kenny. Him and Kenny one-on-one will be a great match. Did we ever get him and Adam Cole in NXT? I don't think we did. We may have. I'm not 100% sure though. But yes, I'm excited about Roderick Strong being in AEW. That is awesome. QTV are doing their thing. Powerhouse Hobbs threatens QT Marshall. And QT makes excuses and promises Hobbs he will be champion again. And he tells him, we'll go fix it. So, we'll see if that ever happens or not, because they just wasted the TNT title on Powerhouse Hobbs, unfortunately, but who knows. Jade Cargill and Taya Valkyrie had a solid TBS title match, but Jade won with a schoolboy pin. off of a distraction for Valkyrie. And afterwards, Taya gets pissed and throws Jay's entourage around, but then the champ bails out, and she goes to hit the road to the road to Valhalla on Aubrey Edwards, but the referees break it up. So it looks like it's not done there. They're just kind of taking it to like a different level. I'm pretty sure we'll get another match between the two of them at Double or Nothing. Will she be the one to dethrone Jade, though? It's possible. Jade's now 56-0, but again, we will see. We have Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter cutting promos on the Outcast. Britt says they're decent human beings until they have a reason not to be, and Jamie calls them sneaky and says this is far from over. And then Bullet Club Gold, Jay White and Juice Robinson cut a promo about their match on Rampage this week. We'll be seeing it. Bryan Danielson comes out to watch the main event, which was the Butcher and the Blade versus Kenny Omega and Konosuke Takeshita, who again seemed to join the Elite, making that 5 people with the Elite now. Again, is this still a tease for CM Punk to come back and be the 5th member of the Blackpool Combat Club? But the match was fine. The babyfaces win. Afterwards, Bryan Danielson gets on the mic and says he sees one professional in the ring who got the ring, and one amateur who's exhausted. His best days are behind him, living on the legacy he built in Japan. He says if Takeshita trained with the Blackpool Combat Club, he'd be a world beater. But if he trains with the Elite, he'd be like Michael Nakazawa, washing them in the showers. The rest of BCC come out and beat down Kenny Omega. And then Bryan says last week they started something and this week they're going to end it. And he just casually pulls out that screwdriver. I like how Bryan's just so like calm and psychotic. But then he just pulls out that screwdriver. And it feels like it shouldn't be as chaotic as it is. But things get nuts when he pulls out that screwdriver. And again, I just love how like cool and chill he is about it. So he pulls out the screwdriver. He gives it to Mox. But then the Bucks came out and started throwing super kick parties to Claudio and Yuta. And then Omega hits a dragon suplex on Moxley. And then they then hit the ring. And then Danielson tries to take Takeshita into going into the ring. And he does. Game between Omega and Moxley. And then the BCC pulls the Bucks out of the ring. Moxley shoves Takeshita into Omega and hits a paradigm shift. Danielson and Kashinori then raise Takeshita's hand, but he's not having it. Bryan tells him to think about what he's doing and tells him he wants to be with the BCC. Wheeler then low blows him, and Moxley spikes Takeshita with a screwdriver over and over and over again, and we get blood pouring from Takeshita's head. Yow. That screwdriver. But it's interesting, though. Where does it stand? Here's the thing, I want to say this. Even though, of course, well, maybe it could set up for something different down the line, but wouldn't it be something if Takeshita did turn on the Elite, join the BCC, and instead of Punk coming back to join the BCC, he joined the Elite? Now, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to see Punk and the Elite fight. I think people want to see CM Punk and Kenny Omega against each other in some form of capacity at All In Wembley Stadium. Wouldn't it be quite a swerve, though, if that happened, though? If Punk somehow joined the Elite instead and Takeshita joined the BCC? Just something to think about. But, oh, that screwdriver. Like Bryan with the screwdriver just reminds me a heck of a lot about how Samoa Joe was when he first turned heel in NXT. He was always just like, it's okay. Nah! Like, it's cool. And then it's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. It goes down from like cool and collective to beyond extreme, basically. But that was my review of Dynamite. Again, I pre-recorded it. Good show. Not quite as good as the past couple weeks, but it was still a pretty good episode of Dynamite. Again, my favorite thing, no doubt about it, is still Roderick Strong making his AEW debut. Again, I'm just so happy to see Roddy again. I gave the show a B, though. A B for Dynamite this week. And, yeah, I'm going to get this uploaded afterwards. Got to make the thumbnail still, but then we're going to get ready. I'll be sitting down in front of the TV tonight, getting ready to post stuff about the draft. And we'll see if this draft really does change the game. Because will it be the game's draft or will it be Vince's draft? Ha ha ha. We'll have to wait and see. But guys, that's my thoughts on Dynamite this week. Good show. What are your guys' thoughts on Dynamite as well? What are your guys' thoughts also on Roderick Strong making his AEW debut? And what about the idea again of who Punk will join when he comes back? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at the Club of the Man 1993. I'm sorry, the Club of the Man 93's Twitter only. Be sure also to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'll be posting a lot of my social media tonight. Follow me all there at the Club of the Man 1993. So until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great night. And always don't forget, guys, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself.